Hello and welcome to Uncut with Lucia. Today we have the author Ravi Sahay. In his books, Ravi Sahay exemplifies the power of lifestyle changes by using an integrative approach in healing and prevention for chronic conditions. So, Ravi, welcome to Uncut with Lucia.
Thank you, Lucia. I'm very, very glad to be with you. And I'm looking forward to this time with you.
Yes, I was also looking forward to talking with you. And Ravi, in midlife, you struggled with several chronic diseases, including heart disease and high blood pressure. And now you are 74 and full of energy. So what's your secret?
Well, thank you. Yes, I am delighted to be here at 74 because there was a time when I thought I won't make this far, and I'm glad to be healthy. So, midlife crisis, people talk about. Different people get crisis in different ways. I got it through health because the hypertension, and then eczema, and then urinary tract infection, and then I had the heart attack in 2003 where I was 55 years old. And it didn't stop there. It went to congestive heart failure in 2007. In 2011, I had pacemaker implanted. But 5 years ago, the pacemaker was disabled, and I have regained my health and vitality. The gout is gone, eczema is gone. I had sinusitis for God knows since I was 11 years old, and it got very, very bad around midlife, that I was snoring, I was not sleeping well. So the answer is, you mentioned about integrative medicine, which is basically, you can call it holistic medicine, and it is different than conventional or modern medicine, which relies so much on pills and less on lifestyle. But the answer is just the reverse. More lifestyle changes, including not just what you eat, but what you think, how you move, how you sleep. And as you said, these are small changes, and you don't have to do all that, just one, in 1 month or so. It can be gradual over time, but the awareness is needed, and that awareness is lacking. And thanks for your work on health and education, because the conventional medicine is busy with pharmas, and the food industry has been corrupted because we have so much sugary food. In fact, my first book, when I started to wake up about it, which is called My Health is Your Wealth, I wrote it in 2006 when I was understanding Candida. And Candida overgrowth was the paradigm being talked about by MD Orion Truss in 50s. But the conventional medicine was not willing to listen to it. But now we have microbiome, which is the most important discovery after penicillin. And it is just the opposite of penicillin, because penicillin killed the flora, whereas microbiome wants to build the flora. So we had, with antibiotic, we had probiotics. Now with microbiome, they have come the term called prebiotics, which is basically fiber food, mostly plant-based food, and that food is needed for your microbiome, because microbiome will be healthy if you are eating or feeding these bugs, trillions of them, with fiber, which is nutrients, which is in all vegetables, but rich is artichoke, asparagus, broccoli, kale, you name it, onion, radish, anything that has good amount of fiber is a good prebiotic. And this book I wrote 2 years ago during COVID, actually. Or no, a year ago. Yeah, I was writing it and that time. And I published it a year ago.
Mhm.
And this book is a prayer to be healthy.
May you be
May you be healthy. And the subtitle is Well-being for Pennies a Day. And why do I say pennies for a day? Because actually these things don't require extra money, even food. If you are making your own kefir, you don't have to spend $4 a bottle. And I show you how to make your own kefir. The book is about all these habits that you can take little bit at a time. And it is based on the wisdom of microbiome, which is a cutting edge discovery. And beautifully, it is also based on ancient holistic medicine from India. And that is called Ayurveda. Ayu means longevity. Veda means science. So Ayurveda is basically science of longevity. But before Ayurveda, the saints and rishis of India wrote different Vedas. Vedas, they prescribed habits, good habits for living. And Ayurveda picked it from there. So I'm not talking about being an Ayurvedic doctor. I'm talking about using the wisdom of Vedas to live a healthy life. You don't have to go to any Ayurvedic physician. I am not an Ayurvedic physician. But you can do these common sense things to keep you healthy. And in the process, of course, it's the other way. You are keeping the microbiome healthy, which keeps you healthy. So our body becomes a vessel for these trillions of microbiomes. And that is a new discovery, and yet it was known to Ayurveda. Now, a simple thing I'll tell you, that in Ayurveda, one of the principles is Soch, which is a Sanskrit word. Soch means purity of body and mind. Purity of body and mind. That is very, very important. It's like keeping our body clean so that microbiomes can flourish. And why Ayurveda knew about it? Because it tells us every day what to clean. It tells us that bowel movement is very important. How do you prepare for bowel movement? Okay, then it tells you that you do it regular and you devote time for these Soch practices. And they gave it a name. They call it Deen Charya. Again, Sanskrit word. Deen means daily and Charya means routine. So you follow a daily routine of cleansing, which is called Soch, and it prescribes the way to do it right from bowel movement. Then it says you also clean the oral area, oral cavity, because oral microbiome is there. That is what we have found. And it says that you have to massage your skin, which is, they called it Abhyanga. Then they talked about eye wash. They talk about doing the hair with herbal shampoos, and they prescribe what kind of shampoos. And then they also talked about, of course, shower. So that is, Dincharya is the steps to clean the places where microbiome resides. They are called microbiome colony. Now I'll give you a number from microbiome discovery. 70% of these trillions of bugs, they reside in the gut. So you can see why Ayurveda said all the diseases, almost all the diseases emanate from the gut imbalance. That is the wisdom of Ayurveda. That is the wisdom of microbiome. Okay. Now, it doesn't, they said 10% resides in the oral cavity. And they talked about how to do neti, which is nasal irrigation, how to do nasya, which is lubricating it with oil, how to do brushing. And brushing, they talked about particular kind of tooth powders, which are made out of spices. My book has the recipe for tooth powder. I've been using it for, at least 7 years. And tongue cleaning, flossing, you see, all these things, Ayurveda talked about dincharya. This daily detoxification in Sach, we call it. Now, this is purity of body. Then they talked about purity of mind. And purity of mind is basically keeping your mind free, keeping your mind quiet. And they have breathing techniques, which is basically mindfulness. And it is like keeping your mind free of extraneous thoughts. And it could be hatred, it could be jealousy, it could be just being too busy. And we also then for movement, you have yoga. Yoga is about just not about stretching. It is also, yoga word means union of body, mind, and spirit. So the breathing exercises become part of it. Meditation becomes part of it. And of course, the Sach, the daily cleansing, is part of it. Okay. And about food, of course, Vedic tradition says you eat basically plant-based food, which is what the modern wisdom is. Yeah. We have some dairy, but it is, it's in moderation. I take a little bit of eggs. Few people can have a little bit of meat or fish, etc., but mostly plant-based diet.
Mm-hmm. And Ravi, I read your book and I use it as a manual. And that's amazing how Ayurveda can help, as you were telling us, not only physically, but also mentally. So do you have any recipe that you would like to share with us?
Absolutely. So first, when we talk about body and mind, we used to think that they are separate, but they are not. Okay. Microbiome has said that there's a gut-brain axis. Microbiome has said, and of course Ayurveda knew because they said Sach means purity of body and mind. What is gut-brain axis? The food you eat controls your mood. That has been proven through microbiome discovery. And the whole field of depression and psychiatry, etc., is going to change because of microbiome. Okay. So, but your question is a good one, that what kind of a recipe do I have? So my book has many recipes because food is medicine, and food is medicine for body as well as mind, right? So one of the recipe, which is my favorite, is making your own kefir, which is a probiotic. This probiotic is, what is the difference between probiotic and prebiotic? Probiotics are live germs that you ingest into your existing ecology of microbiome, whereas prebiotic is the food for those germs. So we have to do both. All right. So this probiotic I'm going to be talking about right now, which is my favorite, is called kefir. Kefir, of course, is, came from East European, but Ayurveda also had that. They called it sour milk. Okay. And it is very, very easy to make. I have been making it daily, and all you do is you start with a starter in a tea strainer, and put it in a glass, fill it with milk of your choice, dairy, non-dairy, put it in a safe place for 24 hours. And 24 hours later, you take that starter with tea strainer, put it in another glass. This one you are ready to drink. And you can fill that one and you can keep this doing this forever. That's why I say it's well-being for pennies a day. You are not spending $4 to buy kefir. And believe me, this kefir is stronger because it has not been refrigerated. It has not been shipped from one place to another over time, etc. So kefir is my favorite probiotic. What is my favorite prebiotic, you will ask? It is sprouted mung beans. We in India, we call it mung, but Chinese call it mung, M-U-N-G. And what it is I just take a tablespoon of mung beans, which is lentil kind of with green cells complete, and you soak it in water for 24 hours. And then you strain it and you put it in on top of a paper towel or a cloth for another 24 hours to aerate it. And it is now ready to eat. So it will have small strings sprouting. And this has all the micronutrients that, the microbiome wants. And I told you, we are responsible for feeding these pets, these microbiomes, trillions of them. They are our pets, but they work for us. They create these different hormones and vitamins, etc., to keep us healthy. If our microbiome is not healthy, if it's not in balance, then we get chronic diseases. In fact, that is the new discovery. And Ayurveda, again, knew about it because they talk about imbalance of doshas. They talked about kapha, pitta, vata, But the point is, these are more finer tuning. But a common sense we can apply. Are we eating mostly plant-based food? Are we having enough probiotics? From food, not from capsules, It's very, very unfortunate that after microbiome discovery, people wanted to make money by pills. So capsules of probiotics is an example. So I would request my audience to make their own kefir, make your own yogurt, make your own sprouted mung beans. Every day, that's how I start my breakfast. So a simple answer to, or one of the answers to your question.
I absolutely love your answer. And I have to tell you that since I interviewed you for the Relatable Voice podcast, I changed my diet and I've been eating sprouts, as you were telling me, and I will start with the kefir this week. And I think many people are thinking, why, Ravi, did you decide to write this book?
Well, that's again a very profound question. And I reflect on it myself because I have been trained as an electrical engineer. And I grew up in India. And it's in India, what you have to do is in 8th grade, you decide whether you want to take biology or math. So my point is, I wanted to become an engineer, so I have not taken a single course in biology. And I admit it because I said, how is it that I have written 2 books on health and I didn't take a single course in biology? So it kind of totally surprises me that I wrote these 2 books. Okay. And the only way I can answer it is just that life itself teaches you things as we grow, life teaches us things. So life put me into this midlife crisis through health. And not only that, at that time when I was getting unhealthy, I had loved ones around me who are also not healthy. In fact, young people, a teenager, had Crohn's disease. And another loved one had fibromyalgia. The Crohn's disease was caused by medicine because for acne, they were giving antibiotics after antibiotics. And the poor teenager developed Crohn's. But the doctors were ignorant and they would not take responsibility for that. This is, I'm talking 2 years before my heart attack. And then a loved one had fibromyalgia, and the doctors were treating this person with antidepressants. And they were giving tons of antidepressants. And at that time, this country had become a Prozac nation. There was a book that was written. So to answer your question about why did I write this book, it's just that the life put me into that situation. And again, life gave me answers. And I'm very, very grateful for that. One of the ways the answers came is on internet, which had started to come. We didn't have Google. We had search engine was Alta Vista, was one of the search engines when I was doing the search. And I started to search because I said, chronic diseases and there are no solutions. What is the thinking? And I found a stream of thinking called Candida. So there's an article on, and I go to internet and say Ravi Sahay and Candida. So you'll find, and that was my search. And I said, and at that time I had only sinusitis and urinary tract infection and hypertension, but they were giving one medicine after another. And I said, no, that's not true. I mean, that is not going to cure me. And then I had these loved ones and I was looking at what is going on there, So Candida connected me to Ayurveda because Candida also says that when there's an overgrowth in the gut of Candida, and that happens because of sugary food and stress. So you see, they connected all these three things. Orient Truss, he did it in 1955. America was not obese at that time. He wrote the book, Missing Diagnosis. I think he should have received a Nobel Prize, but you know what happened? Conventional medicine thrashed him. They thrashed him. He said, no, it's all bogus. It's all quackery. And so my first book is Candida Overgrowth and Moving to Integrative Medicine. And my second book is basically microbiome and moving to Ayurveda. And so it is all something beyond me.
And it's a beautiful work, Ravi. And you are going to be helping many, many people. And it's easy if we compare with other ways to get healthy, as you were telling us, like taking medication is not the best thing to do. And I would like to know, Ravi, if you have a message that you would like to, share with our audience, any message.
Well, my message is again, a prayer. A prayer is, may you be healthy. And it is not expensive, well-being for pennies a day. Yes, you have to be aware of your body. You have to be aware of your mind, and you have to make small changes. And you don't have to make all these changes at once. First thing is awareness. Changes will come gradually, and you will become healthier, you'll become happier, and you will be helping others. Because health is wealth, and health, when I am healthy, you are healthy too. It's wealthy rather. So my health is your wealth. If I am healthy, you become wealthy. Why? Because I take less of Medicare. I am productive. I am tutoring my, students in elementary school. I am a productive part of the society. It's not like I'm in a nursing home, taking, tons of medicine. And I hope, that's not the case.
Wow, that's amazing. Ravi, your book actually for me was life-changing because I am more energetic since I changed my diet based on the Ayurveda herbs and other things. And also I started kefir, as I told you, and keep promoting this work because this is precious and we need it. We need more books like yours, and keep writing and keep just sharing all your expertise, because it's something that you have with yourself. It's not something that you studied, it's something that you tried in your own body and it helped you.
Thank you, Lucia. And you are doing the same. And, it's like, one lamp can light another lamp, and that lamp can light another lamp. My wish is the same. And this kefir club that we are talking about is the same thing. I teach kefir to you, you teach it to another person, and we are all, basically taking good probiotic at no cost, a minimum cost.
Let's start the kefir club and read Ravi's. Please read Ravi's book, and he has many more good recipes. So Ravi, thank you. Thank you very much for your time, for your participation. This is precious.
Thank you. Thank you very much.